Hello and welcome to Sunday Live with Silvia. It is sometime in March 2021 on planet Earth, the crazy people way. And here we are, made it through another week. Happy spring equinox to everyone. We are now officially in spring, even though calendars haven't quite caught up yet. And looking outside, sometimes it feels like spring and sometimes it does not. So today I thought I would theme this live stream around the idea of how to stop worrying or how to do not to worry. And I think it's a useful skill set, to be having in this day and age. So I'm going to start. What are we going to start with today? Oh, good morning, Bear. Hello there. Waves to beautiful Ireland. I'm so looking forward to visiting Ireland again. I had such a wonderful time for the first time when I went with my partner some years back. It escapes me how many years back it was, but it was just such an awesome place. Absolutely loved every minute of it. Good morning, Martin. Just talking about our trip to Ireland. It really was wonderful. I want to go back. I want to see more of it. We didn't see all of it. Good morning, Cheryl and Marianne. Hello there. Lovely to have you with me on this. Well, here it is a cold and damp and very kind of a morning. Still beautiful Eastbourne by the sea, but today the sun is not shining, the birds are not singing, and I'm really glad that I'm in a nice warm room and enjoying the benefits of modern civilization here. Good morning, Barbara. Hello. Oh, Martin just said it was 8 years ago. It seems like yesterday. There's something really strange gone on with the way time has unfolded because of this isolation thing. It somehow seems we're in a space station and time has stood still or something. I don't know. It's all been very strange. Oh, this is good. Let's have a look at that. Ireland is beautiful, just needs a roof on it. Oh, don't down snout rain. I mean, the places where it doesn't rain, they're just no good for anyone, really. I mean, it's just water is life. Water is life. And it's called the Emerald Isle because all the plants have got loads of water they can drink and make themselves beautiful and green and alive. Marianne says, here's it cold and grey and you as well. Well, beautiful thing with people is we don't have to be, we have this awesome superpower of transporting ourselves into different things. And, any one of us, I could start a meditation about walking on a beautiful island in the sunshine, on sparkling crystalline fine white sand, and hearing the sounds of the sea and all that, and we could transport ourselves there in 5 minutes. Doesn't even take 5 minutes if you're good at it, and that is it's a fantastic human skill. Or if you are not into meditations, you can just go, all right, just think of a particularly nice holiday that is the exact antidote to whatever grey miseries existing around you. It's sure. I was just, my dear energy mind does not understand rhetorical questions. So it immediately sent me to this summer meadow full of flowers where a little aspect of mine was learning how to make these little crowns out where you weave flowers together so you can wear a crown of flowers. And yeah, I've got this nice going through my energy body, and the is gone. We can do that. We can do such wonderful things. Good morning, Ilka and Wendy. Hello, my loves. Bear says, Bear says it's really sunny in Ireland at the moment too. Hello, Sarabi. Hello. One YouTube viewer. I welcome you, particularly Sarabi. That's all our other people are on Facebook generally. And Wendy, good morning, Wendy Burse. Hello. Lots of love to you, my darling. Yeah, so we have this amazing ability to transport ourselves. Something that I learned some years ago is when I sing a morning song, a German morning song, that I get this morning energy. And even when I'm very tired, or it's late at night, or it's in the middle of the night, don't matter. When I sing that morning song, I can evoke the morning. And there comes that morning energy, and then I can go on doing things for much, much longer. We have these fabulous, fabulous abilities. We just don't use them enough, is what I think. Yeah, I'm feeling chirpy this morning. I have some fan art. Oh, I love that. That's so funny. And yeah, putting some more oxygen, or possibly forward drive, or turbo. Just a sort of a turbo energy thing going on there. I do have so much fun with making these charms. They are just so much fun, and if you're into modern energy art, I really recommend it. Even if you just try that out and make one that you don't show to people, and that you don't have to sell to anybody, just for yourself, make yourself a little charm and put it on and notice what it can do for you, which is kind of groovy. Hello, Renata. Nice to see you. To see you. Sorry, just having a moment here. Yeah, so okay. But we might as well. I started off with, it's the winter's dragging on, energy systems are getting depleted, things are getting boring, people want to be outside in the sunshine and need their vitamin D coming in and all of that. And so yeah, but we can bring that sunshine energy through the ability to transport ourselves into these other realities. So why don't you just have a go at that, my dear people here, my starry beings across time and space? Just have a go at that. If it helps, by all means assume the heart position and just think of a perfect moment from your life, on holiday or anywhere really, as a child, anywhere, that is sort of the perfect lifting for the situation or where you are finding yourselves. Just a perfect energy boost, really. And my energy mind is going like, I've already sent you this. This was in the summer flower meadow, learning how to make these little flower crowns. I'm like, yes, okay. This is amazing. This is 60 years ago, and I remember the scent of the warm grass and flowers. I remember it. It's extraordinary what we can do. And all those colors. And also this warmth from the sun coming down from above, and the cool grass. That was also really pleasant. So it must have been early in the morning. It must have been about sort of 9 o'clock, something like that, before the bright summer sunshine had a chance to dry up all the sparkling little dewdrops. Oh, I'm there. I'm having the most energy moment here. It's a beautiful thing. Ah, morning, Carol Ann. Carol Ann says, good morning, everyone. My magnolia blossoms are beginning to open. Perfect for lifting my spirits today. Absolutely. And see, again, that doesn't just have to be for human beings. That doesn't just have to be this one moment in a year. That can be any time. We can literally transport ourselves any time to stand before a magnolia tree that's just about to open its blossoms and be inspired and uplifted by that energy experience. It's extraordinary. I mean, if people ever really started to use all their God-given gifts, my God, what a world could we be in today? Mariana asked me about my morning song. I wonder what morning song that could be. Und die Morgenfrühe, das ist unsere Zeit, wenn die Winde die Berge singen. Awesome. I just, oh, there are so many beautiful energy movements in songs and folk songs that can really uplift us. And there's such magic also to singing. God, there's so many amazing things that are available to us once we step into the wonder worlds of energy. Hey, we have a second YouTube viewer. Awesome, the Light Scriber. Good morning. And Lucas. Hello, Lucas. Wonderful. Oh, yeah. Well, I'm feeling really, really energy high. So you know my problem with having to type in what we're going to be doing in the box before it's been done, which I don't know. And so I started out how to stop worrying. And yeah, I mean, this is certainly one way of how to stop worrying. The key to it is that worrying is not like a God-given plague or something we have to put up with. To understand that we can take control of that, that's the first step. People just worry and they just get caught up in these thought loops that go round and round and round, and they don't even know that they have these beautiful minds that can break out of that. They can, go somewhere else, somewhere positive, somewhere uplifting or beneficial. Ah, I'm going to have to do that here. Barbara, morning, my love. Your necklace has such playful, toy, fun energy, like on a toy boat. Yeah, this is a bit of fun. I did make that comment when I made this. If art isn't fun, then why are we doing it? Oh, sorry, clicked on the wrong one. But good morning, Kumazie. Good morning. Hello. Okay. Yeah. See, when we're worrying, then there is no playfulness. There is no fun. There is no sparkle. It is a truly destructive activity. Worrying isn't thinking about a problem in order to solve it. It's just a really, really unhealthy activity, and people don't realize this. They think it's normal to worry about your children, to worry about your health, to worry about your finances, to worry about the environment, to worry about the future of humanity. Worry, 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 and that's normal. It's not. It's just become normal because too many people have been just too stressed all at the same time. And now they're all worrying about everything, and it's not good. See, when I hear the word worrying, what I think immediately, in what happens in my head immediately, I think of a dog that has one little flea bite on the base of its tail, and then it starts worrying that, snaffling it, scratching it, and this little tiny flea bite can, if there's no stopping it, that somebody stops this can expand to become this enormous festering wound that can even kill the dog in the end if action isn't taken to interrupt that. And unlike our poor little dog that just has to live in the here and now and can't transport itself to a happy holiday they once had, or a beautiful beach in sanctuary, or evoke morning energy by singing a song, or tapping on it, just tapping on it. Even old negative tapping, even though I'm worrying, I deeply, profoundly love and accept myself, even that would work. But in order to start that process, we really do have to understand that worrying makes nothing better. It makes everything worse. It can make it very much worse. And I think to learn to not worry is, and that starts with that understanding that worrying is bad for you. Don't do it. Just say no. Start worrying about anything. Just say no. No, we're not worrying. We're not going to turn this problem into a crisis or a tragedy by worrying and worrying and worrying about it, and in the process of that destroying our living energy bodies. Whew. Must break free of worry. Yes, totally. Let's see what Carol Ann says. A quote I once read: worry is like sitting in an old rocking chair. It gives you something to do, but it doesn't get you anywhere. Yeah, that's true. And it's, I just, when I just read this, I saw a skeleton covered in cobwebs in that rocking chair, just going, and that's where worrying gets you in the end. Absolutely nowhere. It's ugh. So I worry too. I'm human. Everybody's human. Of course, I worry about a whole bunch of things, but I have finally, at my grand old age, learned the lesson that worrying about anything doesn't solve the problem. It does not move you towards an creative, inspired solution or healing, if you want to call it that. Worrying about anything doesn't result in a healing. It results in the opposite. It results in stopping even natural processes of healing taking place. Like the flea bite on the dog's tail, that would have just healed itself in a week if the dog hadn't kept worrying it and making it worse and worse and worse. And so it becomes an ongoing drama, and the dog might get hypersensitive to other things. And this can become a lifelong fight against the dog picking at itself and having to have steroid creams and all sorts. And in the meantime, this could have actually, if it had just left it alone, it would have healed in a week. That's also something to consider. So, yeah, down with worrying. Now, how do we know that we are worrying? That's an interesting question. That's a really interesting question. How do we know that we worry? That's something we have to really, like when we first start with modern energy, the first thing we say to people is get yourself a modern energy chart. I have one here. Hang it on the fridge. We also have little wristbands with these numbers on that you can wear on your wrist, and just check your energy state often throughout the day. Just check it like you used to when people still had wristwatches. You used to just check your wristwatch every so often. That's sort of the first step to becoming self-aware of how stressed or how energized you are. And I think that's really important to kind of keep an eye out on our own states and check that. When you do that for a while, really take some, you don't have to do anything. When you first start out, you don't have to do a thing. You don't have to tap, you don't have to meditate, you do not have to do anything. Because the important part is to learn learn yourself in different stress states. Don't do anything, just realize what's happening. And they are indicators. Like when you start questioning yourself, can I do this? Am I good enough? Is what I'm doing good enough? Should I be doing more? That's a -3. You are -3 on the energy chart. And if you don't watch it, you can go down further quickly at that if you don't get out of that. But then there's sort of really stupid stuff like nobody loves me, I will never succeed, everything's just doomed. That's a very low energy state. And on a good day, you'd never say or think anything like that. But as I said, the most important thing about this is not to then immediately take action, but just to understand yourself. So you learn the things you always think, you always question, you always worry about when your energy dips down too low. And what happens then is that you start to realize that these worries aren't anything in and of themselves. They're just a stress indicator. They're nothing. They're not some big trauma or some big thing. They're also not something you can ever cure. That's also important to understand. It's not as though, like, say, for example, you worry about your health all the time, all the time, all the time, worrying about the health all the time. There isn't one trauma or even 100 traumas that you can find and eradicate, and then you'll never worry about your health again. It doesn't work like that. You worry about your health because you got stressed. And it doesn't matter where this stress comes from. It could be a bad neighbor shouting at you. It could be, I don't know, dropping an egg on the floor when you're cooking. Doesn't matter. The stress is happening in real time. It's coming in from all sorts of places. But our response is then to always worry about the same old thing. So it is the stress that's the problem. So let's have a look at a few comments before I go into a couple of tips that have helped me. Ilke, I love the wristbands. Yes, I do too. Very helpful when people first start learning about modern energy, to check that often and to learn to map what they're doing, what they're thinking, how they're performing to these energy states. I think it's absolutely essential. It's the first step towards taking control of your, emotions, if you will. What have we here? Carol Ann says, I get knots in my tummy. Ooh, that's a big indicator. That is a big indicator. And be careful with that, because that's already way high when you actually start getting physical sensations of worry, rather than the thoughts spinning around in your head and disabling you. When you're actually getting physical sensations of worry, that's serious stuff. Now your energy body is communicating directly through the physical body with you, rather than just thoughts, which are, not worth the paper they're not printed on. Yeah, when you get physical sensations of worry, I highly recommend to become aware of the precursors to that. And that's something that I did mention, is that if you let worry go on for too long, it becomes a vicious circle. It gets worse and worse and worse. So the sooner in the process we can interrupt that, the better. Okay, what's Bear saying? My antidote to worry is telling myself I'll handle it. Whatever happens, I'll handle it, because I've been successful up to now in handling everything that has come my way. Well, yeah, we're still alive. We can still watch a YouTube channel. We must have been successful. We must have been, else we wouldn't be here. Excellent, yes. Worries, she says, this worry thing happens so fast. Yeah, well, with practice, of course, we get better at everything. This is definitely true. But something, this is why I like the wristbands and having the stress chart and checking lots of times a day, is because something precedes the worry attacks. Something precedes it, whatever it is, something you saw on the television. And once you realize that you start into a fast worry every time somebody mentions that the entire planet is going to explode in 5 years' time because of global warming and that we're all doomed. Once you realize that's one of those that's causing you to instantly start worrying, then you've got something specific you can actually deal with and treat. You can tap on it, you can do EMO on it, you can do all sorts of things with this. You can create art solution for, a happy planet, all sorts of things. But it's that self-awareness of how you react, just you. Everybody's different, everyone's different, but where we are all the same is that we react in a certain way to the different energy states we're in. And we do different things in these different energy states. And to learn yourself how you work as a system, as a person, is absolutely the first step in the right direction. Gonna put that on the screen. Go on then. I used to have huge problems with worry and extreme stress, but then I met Silvia. Oh. Oh. I love you. Barbara says, it seems I worry about everything. What a waste. Yeah, of course it is. It is total waste of energy. It is it's a form of wheel spinning. It's like you are in a car and you're revving your engine at full power, but you've got all the brakes on and you've got the car tied with giant chains to a huge weight. The car can't go anywhere, but it will certainly wear out the tires, it'll wear out the engine, it'll wear out everything about it. It is exhausting, it is dangerous, it is not helping. So I want to, boo, worry, down with worry. Let us not worry anymore. Let us do something else instead. Let's try and first of all calm down, then raise some energy, and then see if we can find a creative solution to the problem. I mean, that's really, if it is even a problem, if it's even a problem, who knows? So my favorite method, absolute favorite method for not worrying about stuff is the thought flow technique from EMO Energy in Motion. Then we make a ball and we put all our worries in the ball and then we throw the ball up and over our heads. And that's a weird energy sensation. It's a very strange thing that you can really feel as that sort of goes down your back and then all of a sudden it disappears. It's gone. And that's amazing. It's so amazing. I love that. I absolutely love that. Who are we handing these problems over to? Well, I certainly feel we're handing them over to our higher operating systems, our energy mind, our soul, whatever you want to call it. The other that is bigger than our self-concept. You could also think of it in terms as handing it over to God, because we just don't know who the powers that be really are. But you're certainly handing it over, and when you've handed it over, you can breathe a big sigh of relief. You don't have to worry anymore. And so I'm gonna show you how I do that, and you are very welcome to join in with me if you'd like to try it or like to just to do it. So with all things, we start in the heart position. And then we just hold out our hands like so, as though there was like a glass ball that we're holding in our hands. And this is a clever glass ball like a TARDIS. It's small on the outside, but there's infinite space on the inside. So no matter how gigantic your worries are, or how many worries you have, there's plenty of room. There's plenty of room inside your sphere. So then we'll simply think about what we worry about. Okay, what am I most worried about? Let's start with health. That's always a good one. So you take a deep breath in, and then blow out your worries about health into the wall. And as you blow out your breath, I want you to, inside your mind, say what worries you about health. Like, for example, as you're blowing that out, you can think, about catching coronavirus, about the health of my family, about my blood pressure, about my blood sugar, about my blah, 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 and on and on and on. And if you run out of breath, you take another deep breath and you do the rest of your health worries about the pills I take, about the inoculations, about this, about that. And if you have even more worries about your health, then do a third breath or a fourth breath, as many as it takes until you're running out of worries. And when that point comes, you just hand it over. Hop. Now, when you're completely new to this, and I started with a huge issue here, health, you might go, you can feel this moment of where this is actually gone, and you're left in this blank space of, what was I worrying about? And then it comes back, right? Oh, yes, I was worrying about my health. I was worrying about this. And guess what you do then? You go, okay. But what you'll notice is that this is less intense than it was. And then you hand it over afresh. Hop. So then you go again, that's better. Now, what was I worrying about? Oh, yes, my health. And what I do, if that should happen, which doesn't anymore, but it used to back in the day, I used to, instead of going through that whole globe thing, I just used to go like this. What was I worrying about? Just like that, just quick. That's a really groovy thing to do. It's moving thoughts like though they were actually a substance, as though our thoughts were creating tendrils, information fields that we can actually move away. It's the most fascinating thing. Wonderful experience. Now, I've been doing this for some time, and it has really helped me in my life, helped me in my work, helped me in my relationships. It's an awesome method. And if I find myself getting stressed and worrying about all sorts of things, I'll just sit myself down on the couch or on the edge of the bed, and I just do the hand over my worries to people who are entities, parts of myself that are simply better equipped to deal with them than I am at this time. I love it. If they come back uninvited, I can do this. And it works. It's a wonderful thing. I so strongly recommend that. Okay. That's an interesting thing. Martin said, if you have a huge worry, break it down into smaller parts and toss them away one bit at a time. That's a really good idea. Yeah, absolutely. Look, if we could, when I do the thought flow, it takes 5 minutes, if that. I'd be super surprised if it take any longer than that. 5 minutes from going from, oh dear, I'm worrying about this and I'm worrying about that, to instead going, what's my latest project? What am I doing next? What's the next thing I'm going to practically do? Which is brilliant. Out of that wheel spinning state into actual some forward movement, which is brilliant. But imagine, if you will, if you did this for half an hour. If you have so much to worry about that you can actually do this for half an hour, it would be so good for your energy system. It'd be so good for your ability to act in the real world, in the hard, in physical reality. It just would be so good for you to stop worrying and do something else instead, something positive, something beneficial. Oh, wouldn't that be nice? See what Ilka's saying. With me, it works when nothing else would do the trick. Yeah, me too. It is reliable. It's effective. It just works. And oftentimes, and this is a weird thing that I didn't expect, when I invented this, or when it came to me, or it happened that I learned how to do this, whichever way you want to call it, I was just happy to not worry anymore. I was just happy to not worry anymore. So grateful. It was brilliant. Such a brilliant thing. And it really, for me, it's totally stood the test of time. I just remembered one incident many years ago. I was having this crazy love affair with this guy, and I was obsessing about him, and I just couldn't keep my thoughts away from him. I kept obsessing about this guy. And I used the thought flow on it. I just stuffed the guy in the ball. And as soon as the next obsessive thought came in, I'd be like, Choo. In the end, all I had to do was go like this. And that worked brilliantly. It just ended it. It stopped. It went away. A good resolution was found with the guy. And yeah, I will be eternally grateful to Thought Flow just for this one example, but it is really very useful. Now, no. It's not wheel spinning like my necklace, Barbara. This is a thing, if you put it on the back of a boat, it creates forward momentum. If you put it in an airplane, it creates power to lift off. If you put it on under the ceiling, it creates movement of air, fresh air. And if you stick it on a drill and hold it to a fire, it will fan the flames. So there's no wheel spinning in a bladed propeller. None at all. It's forward momentum. Okay. Yeah, so Thought Flow is my go-to thing. I super recommend practicing that, learning how it works for you, experimenting with it. It's beautiful. It might actually give you solutions back. That's what I hadn't expected. I was just so grateful for the problem to go away, for the worrying to go away, for the obsessing to go away. I'm so grateful for that. Flowers, stars, sparkles. I didn't realize that the extra benefit you get from Thought Flow is that solutions come to you. Solutions present themselves. Strange synchronicities happen, and all of a sudden, the problem just goes away. It's interesting. Super interesting. But you can, of course, do other things to stop worrying. Focusing on positive memories instead of worrying, really engaging with that. Remembering times when there was a problem, but you successfully overcame it. You can also distract yourself from worrying by doing something that you love. And, we are told this is a terrible thing. You must face your problems. You must dig in your trauma. You must, oh God, no, just don't do it. God, just do something else instead. It's better for your energy system to endlessly play computer games or watch television or whatever, or play bingo, whatever it is that you're doing, it's better for your energy system to do something like that than it is to sit there and worry and literally eat yourself up from the inside out. Now, I'm not suggesting that distracting yourself with various things and substances is a fantastic solution. It's not, obviously not, but it's certainly better. So don't be ashamed if you're using such things to take your mind off worries. Don't. It's better for you in the long run than tearing yourself to pieces. Absolutely. And in the meantime, perhaps we can use some of the energy methods that we know with this will to not worry anymore and do something, use other people to help you out with it as well. Now we've got the GOE members group, loads of lovely people on it, like on this live stream at the moment. It's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. There's other people who can encourage you and who can, just bring some hope and joy and extra energy. Just a lovely thing. So this is what I wanted to tell you. Don't worry. Absolutely do not worry. If you find yourself starting to worry, just stop and do something else instead. Worrying doesn't save you. Worrying about money has never made anybody rich. In the contrary, the more you worry, the worse it gets. Worrying about your health is the worst thing anybody could do, because that is such a deep survival worry thing going on there that just causes panic and chaos in your energy system. And it doesn't stop you from getting older and eventually dying either. Quite the contrary, it's probably going to hasten those processes. And worrying about the family does not protect your family. In the contrary, God knows what you're doing by. A family is a group bubble and everyone is connected. And if there's somebody constantly worrying and sending out weird, bloody, disturbed, chaotic thought fields of, the loved ones dying or something, this is bad for the entire family. I mean, this even make your pets sick if you're good enough at it. Make your houseplants die. And I'm not even kidding. So yeah, down with worry. Do anything else rather than that, because it is so destructive and it's not a little thing at all. It's a big, massive thing. And, the less we can worry, the better for it. Our lives are going to be, my friends. So yeah, and I don't want to stop here. I don't want to let you guys go before telling you this other thing. We can't just hand over worries all the time in the thought flow. I'd also like you to consider, if you've done the worries and you got that blank space of, what am I going to do now? I would suggest you make some more of these little balls with your hopes and dreams in it and hand those over to the powers that be, our higher operating systems, God, your guardian angels. I don't know what's there, but yeah, what you want in life. I want more fun. I want more laughter. I want more energy. I want more sparkles. Yeah, I want more sparkles. Lots more sparkles. And end with that, because that really raises energy and it tells ourselves and the powers that be for a change what it is that we want. So when we have something that we want, we can move towards it, even at a snail's pace. That will be better than this other thing that gets us nowhere. So let's do that together, because it's a lovely thing. Okay. Let's make our little sphere here. And I want you to put in that the very first thing that comes to you as you're thinking of something that you want. Don't worry. This is not like these old fairy tales where you only get 3 wishes and then it's all over. This is endless, infinite. Do as many as you want. Just put the first one in there. First thing you want. and hand it over. Whew. And if you end your worry session with that, then you can really get a sense how that is going to help move you forward and into action, into different action than it would have resulted if you'd acted in this worry, frazzle, chaotic misery state. It's a beautiful thing. And also, that moment after you handed over that which you wanted, where you go, oh, what was it I was handing over? This time, the answer is, of course, the positive. And you go, oh, yeah, I want that. And that's just wonderful. I think it's absolutely wonderful. Guys, okay, right. Carol says, oh, I love that idea. Yeah. You know, I swear to God that by always worrying about what's wrong in our lives and focusing on trauma, that we have given our powers that be the wrongful impression that we want, that's what we want more of. That's what is interesting to us. That's what we want to move towards, suffering and misery. And the thought flow thing with doing your worries, great. And then flip it and do your desires and what you want, what you really want. You don't have to censor yourself there either. Nobody else will know, just you, the higher forces, and God perhaps. And if it's right and good for you, then some action will happen, some miracles might happen, who knows? Can't promise that, but yeah. Renata, thank you. Plus, loving your vibrant flowers. Thank you. These were a gift for Mothering Sunday, and they're so lovely. I wanted to commemorate them in my live stream today. Oh. Yeah, you pass over your fears, and then you pass over your desires. And then you're done, and you can move on with your life and do something, whatever it is that you do, or you want to do, or you'd love to do. Okay, guys, I hope you've enjoyed this week's Sunday Live. If you have, please leave a like and a share, and perhaps you know somebody who might find what I have explained today useful, who would like to hear this too, who would like to try out a bit of thought flow for themselves and have some more people, instead of worrying, focus on that which they want to achieve in their lives, or would make them happier, would simply, brighten them up, make them happier. And brighter, happier people are just so much more reasonable, sensible, loving, benefit to us all. Oh, wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh, you are so welcome. Ah, excellent. Cheryl, thank you. Cool. Kamaziye enjoyed this too. I'm guessing you will pass this on to our Turkish-speaking dear energists, shining beings from Turkey, which will be great. All right. Yeah, so thank you very much for your time. Thank you for being here with me. I enjoyed it very much, and I am looking forward to our next unfoldments and what's going to happen next. It's going to be exciting and interesting. There'll be star moments for every single one of us. And let's just get ready for when they happen to receive them. All my best wishes to you, my dear friends, my dear shining beings. Lots of love. And I'll see you again for next week's Sunday Live with Silvia. Oh, just going to say bye for now. Lots of love. Bye for now.